my women like I like my sushi. Japanese.
250 rupees at food mall.
So many positions.
Play some music, huh?
Yes, I've applied to be a chef. Yes.
Okay guys, welcome back to NDTV Rising Stars with Shits and Giggles. We're discussing improv or improvised comedy.
Or improvisational comedy.
Or improve comedy.
Or as our technical director likes to call it, improve comedy.
He's gonna watch this and
People have called it on the spot.
on the spot.
We had to put it on the poster because people called it on the spot.
Yeah.
Remember when we did comedy on the spot, we used to call it that.
Now there's a show called Whose Line Is It Anyway? Very famous show. This is kind of the stuff that we're doing.
Kind of like.
If you've seen
And
that show.
so we've been doing this for about what now, 3 years almost in this country, and we've been doing it. So how it all started was Bridge here. Bridge, you want to talk about history and where you come from and why improv is so important to you and special to you?
No, yes. My background in improv is I started doing it when I was 15 as kind of like a
geek,
as kind of like a thing to do. Like, oh, it's theater. I was a theater geek in school and everything. I started doing improv when I was 15 in high school, and then I started doing it professionally. And then I really enjoyed it, so I went to Chicago where I trained at the Improv Olympic.
What is the Improv Olympic? Tell everyone.
It is an academy in Chicago where they focus only on improvised comedy, performance theory, and all that stuff. And if you ever want to, if you're ever in the States or you're in Chicago, anyone, whatever, it's an experience of a lifetime. You learn so much about comedy. I trained there at the IO, and then I just kept on doing improv. I haven't stopped since I was 15. And then when I moved to, yeah, I used to do like sometimes like 30, 35 shows a month, like sometimes 2 or 3 in a night. I moved here about four and a half years ago, and then we, Shits and Giggles, met up. I met Karan and Thakur. We became Shits and Giggles, and we started doing stand-up and like light sketch and whatnot. And then just randomly, like I kept on. I knew that I wanted to do improv, but it never struck my mind to like do it. And then it just kind of randomly happened that you showed up and like, hey, I want to do improv, and we're like, all right, why not? Let's do it. So then I rehearsed with you guys for what, like 6-7 months before we did our first show.
Before we did the first
show.
I was 6 years old in Japan.
The whole country.
Yes. And I was 6 years old in my hometown of Japan, and
What is the name of your town?
what is so funny about that?
Your hometown is Japan.
Well, there's a town in Japan called Japan. You can have a. There can be a New York, but there can't be Japan.
Fair enough.
So there I was in my hometown of Japan.
Okay.
So Bridge is going to take us through the kind of games we play. First of all, what is short format, what is long format, those kind of things, what we play and how we came to this balance.
So short form, there's a bunch of different kinds, but the two main kinds of improv are short form and long form. And short form improv is kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway, where there's a series of like short games, you know, like 5-minute games. Each game has its own gimmick and trick, and you get different suggestions. And then long form, which is my personal favorite, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I have the most fun doing it, is where for like 20 to 30 minutes, you just go and you do like a mini play.
There's a big opportunity to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a risk, and like it's the construction. Like with long form, like you have to like, in the moment, be thinking about what needs to happen, what should happen next, and how to keep...
Many a times the payoff is 20 minutes after it started.
Yeah, exactly.
But that payoff sometimes is absolutely worth it. In fact, like, you know, people don't understand sometimes what is happening for the first 10 minutes. They're confused, how are these two scenes related? But in the end, everything comes together, and it's all been made up on the spot.
There's a huge give and take, because with short form, it's typically 2 or 3 guys playing that game, and then we're done with that game, and then we move on to the next game, and then two or three different guys are playing it. With long form, it's all 5 of us in that entire piece, and we all have to kind of watch what the other guy is doing. And there's a lot more stuff to keep track of, and like there's a great thing about saying about improv that there's no such thing as a mistake in improv, only things that are unjustified. So like the miscommunications and the mistakes that happen in the show usually end up getting a lot of laughs. Like I think that you're mom, but then I forget that you're mom and I call you dad, but the audience remembered that you're mom.
Right.
And we keep going. We have to keep going. You can't stop. Hey! Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest with us tonight.
Chup!
Everybody put your hand together for Nana Patekar.
ये तेरा हाथ ये मेरा हाथ अभी दोनों मिला इसे.
So Nana, we are here to
शेव करके आया हूँ आज. यंग दिखने.
Nana,
यंगस्टर्स के लिए शो इम्प्रोव के ऊपर. अच्छा लगा.
Nana, have you seen our video on our YouTube channel?
कौन सा वीडियो?
The Kauravas song.
वो धार्मिक वाला.
हाँ, धार्मिक वाला.
आदर गाता है, आदर.
आदर गाता है.
क्या सुना है मैंने कि तू कौरवा के नाम गाता है?
He knows all 104 he knows.
I know 105.
But he does it in 1 minute.
I do it in half.
Okay.
Chalo, challenge?
Challenge.
Okay. You're gonna go first, and then we're gonna see his attempt.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll keep track of time.
Okay.
Nana, are you half a minute?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. दुर्योधन दुशासन समसुदर्शन निशगिन महाबाहु पासी प्रथम रवि धृत वर्मा जयानंद सुबाहु धृधर तसरक वाची सोमा सुवीर्यवंशः कुंदसाय दुर्मुख दुर्दशा दुर्मर्षा जयसेन कुंदी उग्रसाय सेनानी विकर्ण जयत्र उग्रसेन दुसलनायो बाहु धृधक्षत्र अभय विंद जल गंध सदा सुवक विवित्सु कुंदधार धनुर्धार दुर्धार धनुग्रह दीर्घ कर्मवु चित्रसेना उपचित्र चारु चित्र चित्र युद्ध चित्रम चित्र क्ष चित्र चित्र कुंडल चित्र वर्मन वीरा विदृत संद विकट क्रतन दुर्विश दीर्घ बाहु भीम रथ भीम विक्र भीम वेग Bhima Bela Yujutsu, the one who didn't die. Dida Hasta and then Durmashana, Dirka Roma with Durmi Vochana, Dusaha Durjaya Dushkarna, Srutavan Srutanta, Suvarcha Suvarma, Burivala Krata, Suhasta, Nanda Dushpradasha and Durmadhav, Kavashinjara Sanda Viraja Satas and the Vivin Satikunda Bedi, Suvarcha Alulupa Kundasi and Novendama Pramadi, Dusala Sarasana, Nadara Shakanjara Davaja, and a daughter the name Dushala, Aparajita Vrindaraka, and the Taketu Grayutava the Vega, Grasava Sujata Kandari and Tretarash.
Oh, 59 seconds.
59. Duryodhan कौन बोलेगा?
How can you forget Duryodhan?
Adar, what the hell, man? People are looking here.
I said Duryodhan.
No.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, Nana, now it's your turn.
30 seconds, 105.
30 seconds.
105.
You heard 105. You heard all
make
of them
one
here.
up.
You ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
किसकी बहू?
Rakesh.
10 seconds.
Wait, the 105th guy is Rakesh Kaurava.
I like that their surname is Kaurava.
Rakesh Kaurava only, na?
Yeah, I know. We're Shits and Giggles.
Thank you so much.
Check us out on the web and
Bye-bye.
other stuff. Goodbye. Thank you, NDTV, for having us.
We are going to sleep. Bye.